Sounds Production. What up, sound? What up, sound?
Get those juice boxes. Get those juice boxes, y'all. Go ahead and line up if you're on the show. Welcome to the Red Room Talk. You can find us here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, rain or shine. The Red Room Talk is where we talk about love, intimacy, and interpersonal relationships. This week, we are discussing the roadblocks between you and love. Are you keeping you from love? Last episode, we talked about your relationships with your friends and family and how they shape your relationships. But tonight, we're here in the Red Room to talk about how fear, ego, and insecurity can get in the way of your pursuit of love. Are things you doing keeping you from love? Let's see what tonight's lineup of guests think. First things first, I'm going to let the guest in the box, and let's see what they have to say. Before I let you in, keep it clean and keep it honest.
Yo.
Yo.
Let's get it. Had to get the mood right with the red light.
Welcome. Welcome.
My fault. Hold on. Let me get y'all set up.
And Vicky, Sticky. Jen, hey Jenny.
Janai.
Welcome everybody to the Red Room. Thank you all for coming. I want to go ahead and go in a clockwise and let you guys introduce yourselves.
All right. Well, first and foremost, it's your boy G Way or No Way. I've been on tag for about 3 years. Y'all can find me pretty much here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Hood Feud Show. Please hit your boy with the fave. Twin, I need to get in. I need to get in school too, so I need an application. So I just want to let you know that.
How you doing, Pity? Welcome to the Red Room.
Oh, me?
Yeah, it's your turn. How you doing, Pitt? Welcome to the Red Room.
How
Go
y'all
ahead.
doing? How y'all
introduce
doing?
yourself.
For those who don't know me, I'm Pitt, aka Pit Bully. My fam is BRB. Also, my long distance fam is motherfucking. You know what I'm talking about? Them niggas right there. You feel me? Okay.
Language. Go ahead.
G-Way, you was stuck for a second. I also started hosting my show. It's called Ghetto Night School every Monday, 10 p.m. Eastern. You know, so y'all come show love. You know, that's it. You know, I go live random times whenever I feel like it.
Whenever.
All right. How you doing tonight, Vic? Welcome to the Red Room.
Hi, everybody. I'm Victoria's Secret. Shh, don't tell nobody. You feel me? Show coming soon. I got a show coming soon. Yes, I do have a show. It's in the making right now. I stream in the morning time. Best time to catch me is 6 to 12. Shout out to everybody pulling up. See you, boss, favorite boss. Let's go.
How you doing, Ganja? Welcome to the Red Room.
What's up, everybody? I'm Ganja. I stream sporadically, so catch me when you catch me, but definitely catch me on Saturdays at 8 at the Tatted Trials. You know what I mean? I'll be the district attorney out there getting your favorite streamers off for their crimes on here and shit. So pull up on that, and for the most part, I just fuck with Jen and her people. So catch me in any of the rooms.
All right. Well, tonight we are going to talk about the roadblocks between you and love. The first question we are going to discuss tonight is, do you believe in the saying, you have to love yourself first to love someone else?
Most definitely. You gotta first learn to love the person in the mirror before you can even begin to try to love somebody else. If you don't love the person in the mirror, it's not gonna work. You can't love somebody. I mean, you can, but it ain't gonna work out. You're really gonna get hurt. You can love somebody more than you love yourself, but at the end of the day, most people these days are gonna take advantage of that. So it's really important to love that person you look in the mirror every morning and see. You know, that's the self-love is the best love. So yeah.
All right.
All right. I feel this way. You born by yourself. We born selfish. But that's one thing we can't control. Everybody is born selfish. If you not for self at first, if you can't get yourself together and love yourself enough, how the hell can you love somebody else? You like it would like my twin said, it would never work out because you don't know how to love. You don't even know how to love if you can't love yourself. Because that's the first person you're supposed to love is yourself. So how can you ever love somebody else? I feel like it's impossible. That's how I feel about it.
Definitely agree.
What do you think, Vic?
I love me. Always gonna love me first before I go love on somebody else. Because if I didn't love myself, how do I have the ability to love anybody else? My child, my mother, how can I do it? So self-love is always important. Because at the end of the day, it's called self. Can't nobody love you the way you want to be loved but yourself. And that's my spoken words to it.
What you think, Ganja?
I feel like it's kind of true, but I don't know. It leaves off some of the sentence. I feel like without love of self, you'll never be able to love anybody else properly. But you can't tell somebody that they ain't able to love somebody else. You're just not gonna be able to do it right. You feel me? Because there's people that don't love themselves that have kids. They love the shit out their kids, but how they portray that might not be correct because they never love themselves, so they don't know how to love properly. But I believe you can love without loving yourself just properly. You got if you had that properly under there, yeah, 100% agree.
Agreed.
Agree. Love yourself.
I definitely agree. I like the way you said it though.
Right.
To love someone properly, you have to love yourself first. Because I definitely think you can love someone without loving yourself. But is that gonna be healthy? No.
Yeah,
You
but that's
definitely
what
have to love yourself first to love.
When you do that, you know what that is? When you can love someone else and not love yourself first, you know what that's leading to? Insecurity. They're gonna be checking. They're gonna be doing weird stuff. It's not gonna be it's gonna be trouble, and that's the toxins of that.
If you could love someone else without loving yourself, that means you would go through the worst shit ever. I mean, stuff ever, and still stay there. That person could cheat on you, do whatever. That's because you love that person and don't love yourself enough to leave the situation. You feel what I'm saying? That's why people being stuck in those situations like that, because they don't love themselves enough to be like, you know what? I know I love this person, but I gotta love myself more and get myself out of this situation right now. You feel me? But people don't love themselves enough to do that.
Preach. Look at all these pastors in here.
I definitely agree with what he said right there, and I feel like a lot of people don't be taking the time to realize that a lot of problems in like their relationship life, not so much a situation by situation, but in general, come from them not loving themselves. Because it's like, yeah, you love them, you just don't love you. That's why you letting yourself go through all this shit. So like, but people gonna be trying to hear that shit when you be like, nah, I get you love them, but you don't love you. That's the problem in this shit. And that's what's that's the problem in this relationship. That's what's messing things up.
Right.
Definitely agree. So with that being said, what disadvantages of another person am I not willing to deal with? Relationships with other people can be a test of patience. We spend time, strength, and energy on introducing a person into our world. It can be very disappointing when someone's character does not align with being in our personal space. Are you bendable or are you stuck in your ways?
I'm definitely bendable. You know, like I like to learn, I like to change, I like to evolve, I like to elevate. You know, like I don't want to be stuck in my ways, because you're stuck in your ways, you can't learn them. You're gonna miss everything. You know, you got to be willing to be open and bend, in my opinion. Change. There's nothing wrong with change. People are so scared of change or elevating and making themselves better. That's my.
I'm gonna use a better word, bro. I'm gonna use the word adapt. People don't know how to adapt to you. Like if you in a situation, if you get your girlfriend and say she's in the tag, you feel what I'm saying? And you don't know nothing about it, and you just like, oh, she always on that. She always there. You gotta see that she's in it for a reason. And instead of bickering with her, at least try to adapt to it. You feel what I'm saying? Like people not used to adapting to things no more. They just want to bicker about it and want you to change it. You feel what I'm saying? Now maybe if you have a conversation, like if you be like you have a problem with it and you have that conversation about it, maybe she'll adapt to what you're saying. Maybe you both can adapt together. Maybe she'll go live a little less, and I could come to understand it, but people don't adapt to nothing. People, they just want to bicker and argue and want to control things. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, adapting is a big part of relationships. You feel me? Because if you don't, you're gonna be controlling. or try to control stuff. So that's where that comes very important into relationship.
Right, right.
Yeah, I definitely think you got to be able to compromise and stuff. You can't really be too stuck in your ways. I wouldn't say I'm a stuck person. I mean, I got my core shit, my core things. My core is my core, but like for the most part, like, you got to be able to adapt because if you like somebody, you got to like both what they bring to the table you like and what they bring to the table that might be different too. So you got to be able to compromise and adapt to that because just because it's not something you naturally do doesn't mean it's bad, doesn't mean it's weird, etc., etc. Sometimes it's just the person, and I don't feel like nobody is made 100% to blend into what you want. You feel me? You'll get as close to 100% as you can, but everybody is their own person. Everybody was born with their own dream, their own goal, their own way of doing things. You can't just absorb that into yours all the time. Sometimes you gotta find a middle line that everybody loves. So you can make it work.
Can you repeat the question for me, please?
What disadvantages of another person am I not willing to deal with? And are you bendable or are you stuck in your ways?
I could be stuck in my ways. I could be bendable. It depends on the situation. It always depends on the situation. Our communication levels of this relationship. Where are we at in our communication skills at this point? So if it's something reasonable to compromise and all right, I can step out my ways for that, then yeah, I do it. But if it's something I'm not really down for and don't want to do, no, I'm going to be stuck in my ways. I'm going to be that stubborn person.
I ain't gonna lie.
Good answer.
When it comes to finance, I'm stuck in my ways. I ain't gonna lie. The way I've handled
Oh
money,
yeah, well, oh yeah, with my
handled
money.
money my whole life, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
care.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? So I'm unbendable when it comes to
That's
finance.
different.
I was trying to think of the question again. I was like, oh, she's unbendable. I'm kind of unbendable when it comes to finance and certain things that just got to do with like self survival. Like you got to have a certain level of like, you feel me? If I see that too many of the decisions you make are like not in line with like survival, I'd be like, damn, you be just doing anything, huh? And like for me, I won't do it because I'll be like, you ain't thinking of XYZ. And they're like, nah, and that's how you could have lived your life. I can't say it's wrong. It's just for me, it's really hard for me to be like, yeah, I'm gonna get down with that. Nah, I'll be like, well, I'm gonna stay over here. I'll be like, I'm gonna stay strong in that. Just certain things.
Right.
Well, D jumped over E and is going to F you up, G, because I think I'm very bendable. I'm kind of a chameleon to my surroundings, so I'm pretty bendable. There are certain things that I'm stuck in my ways, and that's respect. You're going to respect me one way or the other. Either you're going to respect me with me, or you're going to respect me over there with someone else. In this, in my space, we apologize and we compromise and all those things over here. If you can't do those things, then go back to what you're used to. There are certain things I don't bend on, and like I said, that's just going to be respect, honesty, those type of things. But as far as like compromising, I'm very good with compromising. Like I'm going to love what you love too, because I'm going to be your biggest fan as well as you should be mine. But there's just certain things, especially being single as long as I have, that I know I won't deal with, because I can be by myself and calm and at peace. I need you to bring me peace more than anything. I need you to be my peace at the end of the day. So I'm definitely bendable, but there are some things, like I said, I just can't bend on. So if you're just pulling up, you haven't missed much. Take a seat. We're still here in the red room. We just talked about if you should love yourself first and are you bendable, but we have more to come. So the next question is kind of going hand in hand with that. How do you deal with issues when they arise? Once if you're bendable, how do you deal with those issues when they arise?
You talk about it. You communicate about it. That's one thing that people in society now are so scared of: communication. we got communication. There's nothing we can't get through. There's nothing to be hid or nothing like that. Because if I could trust you, you could trust me, and we can communicate, then that loyalty is not going to be broken, regardless. At the end of the day, in my opinion, that's just how I feel. Like communication is with that. Communication is everything. If I can't talk to you about certain things, or I don't want to come to you about certain things, and it's we on a sinking ship right now, and I'm looking for a life raft. Just letting you know.
Can you repeat the question? Because I was doing something. I was.
How do you deal with issues when they arise?
Um, it's depending on the issue. It's different. It's different. It's different issues, man. Like, listen, and I'm gonna be honest. We talk about pick, or we talk about what it should be. I'm gonna talk about me. It's depending on what it is. If it's you do something crazy, you say you cheat on me, and I catch you with the dude. I'm getting physical. Like, you feel me? It's getting physical. You feel me? It's getting physical. I'm whipping everybody. You, him, his cousin that's over there playing pool. Everybody getting it. You feel me? Like you feel me? Now
Hey,
if it's now say if it's I don't know, I catch you flirting. Let's say I catch you flirting. Like, you know, I feel like everybody does it. I feel like we all grow. I don't care if you're in a relationship or not. Everybody does a little flirting. And in some situations, I feel like flirting is healthy. You feel me? As me growing up, I see that flirting is a little healthy, just a little bit. Like, you're not too much of it though. You feel me? Like, because when you're in a relationship for so long, so we want to see if you still got it a little bit. Like, oh, let me see. Oh yeah, other people do like me. You feel me? Like, it's all right sometimes. You feel me?
right.
But not too much of it. Now, if
Other
I catch
people
you
do
flirting
like
on
me.
some you OD flirting. I wanna do this and I wanna do that. Wait, shorty, that's borderline cheating. Now, I'm gonna talk to you like, if that's what you want to do, you go ahead and do that. And you could have let me know that's what you want to do. Like, you don't want to be in this for no more. You feel me? But other than that, we got a problem. Like, you feel me? Like, you got it's communication. You got to learn how to communicate in different situations. And if it's the bad situation, me personally, I'm getting physical. Straight physical.
No
Let's
ifs,
get
ands, or buts about that.
physical. What you got to say, Ganja?
I ain't gonna lie. When it's a problem, obviously communication, the way you go, some form of communication. But for me, I'm the type of person I can't communicate unless I know that you can hold yourself accountable. If I don't feel you can hold yourself accountable, I'll just detach. I don't even care. Like, I ain't talking nothing. I don't got nothing to say.
I hate a
You feel me?
narcissist.
I'm
I
out of
hate
here.
a
Right.
narcissist.
But that's just because I feel like communication with people that don't hold themselves accountable is pointless. You feel me? You just gonna get excuse after excuse. Y'all gonna hit the run around and trying to explain why I did this, why I did that, and it'd be like, yo, I'm not even really harping on you for the why, or even saying that you're a horrible person for why you did it. I'm just telling you how I felt about it. So if you ain't gonna take accountability for how, I mean, for what happened,
Well,
then I'm not even gonna talk to you. It's just like, it be little things like that. I
self
guess
accountability.
in some ways I gotta work on my communication more, because it really be things like, it's almost like a baseball game. Like, that's the first time you want accountable. That's the second time you want accountable. All right, man, I'm out of here. You feel me? Like, just because I don't like wasting time, I don't like arguing with people that don't want to be accountable, because I really feel it just doesn't make anything better. Like,
You
if I could
wasting
be
your
like,
time, because at least if
right,
you argue with somebody that's accountable, your argument is getting somewhere at the end of that argument.
exactly. At the end of
Right.
the day, I'm
You're
gonna be
gonna
able to be
end that
like, you know
argument
what?
with understanding.
Right.
Right.
My bad for how I handled this. your bad for how you handled that. Like, you feel me? And then afterwards, we could chop up like, hey, yo, you don't even know why I handle things that way. It's X, Y, Z. And I'd be like,
I
oh,
just got
okay,
out of
word.
a 3-year relationship. I just got out of a 3-year relationship with a girl that wasn't accountable or nothing. So every argument went nowhere.
It gets draining after a while. So I feel like I handle definitely with communication, but my communication starts from accountability. Like, if you tell me how you feel about something, first thing, I'm gonna meet you there where you at with what you hit me with. Like, man, my bad for that. We can talk about it further
Right.
if you want to, like, the mindset to talk about it further, but I like to be accountable at first. So if not that, I'll be detached sometimes. Like, when certain issues come, I'll be like, yeah, I already see where this going.
Mhm.
Can you
What
repeat
you
that
think,
question?
Vic?
Because they don't talk so much. I forget the question. They wouldn't even be quiet.
It's okay. How do you deal with issues when they arise? How do you deal with issues when they arise? Ding.
It depends on the situation. And if it's something, I do this little thing when I'm pissed, when I'm mad, I cry. And if I cry, that means it's over with. Somebody's head's gonna get chopped off somewhere, like just period. But if we can't communicate and we come to an agreement where we meeting in the middle of our situation, I don't want it. I'm gonna throw the whole thing away because I ain't got time to teach you how to communicate, how to talk, open your mouth, close. What they say, closed mouth don't get fed. Talk to
Mhm.
me. That's all you got to do.
Good answer.
I definitely agree. Um, when an issue arises, I guess it kind of depends. It depends how I'm a mirror. I'm a mirror to how you treat me. If you're coming at me disrespectfully, I'm probably gonna shut down. At that point, especially if you're using names, calling, you're doing all that, I'm gonna shut down because I'm not even gonna. I'll be a brick wall. I won't even communicate with you. Or if I've said something to you about how I feel about an issue several times and you're not listening, you're not hearing me, because I'm gonna tell you most the time immediately how I feel about something. Or if I don't feel like I can come to you, I might go to someone else like, man, look, I don't know what to do about this, but for the most part, I'm gonna come from internal and be like, look, I'm trying to come to you to tell you how I feel about something. Um, and if you can't grasp that I need you to hear me out, or if you a lot of times people will do that whole well fine then I'm just not going to talk anymore. If you do that to me ever, I promise you I will not even discuss it with you, and it's going to be a done deal. Because if I can't communicate with you, because I'm probably an over communicator, I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is, how I'm feeling. I'm gonna put the issue right here in front of you, so that way you can never later like, look, you never told me, da 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 da, you've never like spoke this to me, like now how am I supposed to know? No, I'm gonna tell you. um like you said, closed mouths don't get fed. It's not even just that, but it's not always listening to hear me. I need you to listen to understand what I'm telling you. Because if I'm opening my mouth and being vulnerable enough to tell you that something's bothering me or hurting me, then I need you to take that in and understand that it's not a shot against you. I'm just telling you how something is making me feel. It's not even just a me thing, it's a you thing too. I need you to understand, not just listen to reply. I need you to listen to understand, take it in, and then immediate action on whatever the issue is.
Right. But that's the problem,
It
though. A
seems
lot of
simple, doesn't
people,
it?
when you-
It does.
right, but it's very simple. But
It's
it's so
never
many
that simple
people that
though.
It's not
just
It's
that
never
easy.
that
it's never
simple.
there. Right, right, right. That's what I was about to say. Like it's so many people when you tell them something you don't like, they take it
As a
as you're
They
attacking
run
them.
with it as a
As
Uh-huh.
you're attacking them,
because
You
constructive
criticizing
criticism
them.
is a word that a lot of
right.
people. Constructive
It's
criticism
a
is a word a lot of people can't deal with.
it's a
I'm telling
thin
you to
line.
help you. I'm trying to help you stay in a
But you
healthy
trying to help, but
relationship with me.
people with low self esteem, they take that and they self esteem just turn immediately on like, oh my god, it's the end of the world, and they don't know how to take it. So some people you can talk to, some people you can't. It's the way you word things with certain people.
I was about to say it's a thin line because I know even for me as a kid, it took me a long time to be able to hear people like tell me what I did that they feel some type of way about. just because for me, the second you start dragging it, I stop hearing it. Like there's a difference to me than you telling me like this action made me feel a type of way, then I'll be like, okay, my bad. But and then you go like, dang, I don't understand how anybody can act this way. Like what was going through your head? That's gonna be like, now you acting like the world
Right.
feel like you. You feel like you. And I'm sorry for what I did to you, but hey, don't be acting like you feel me. The whole world be feeling like this. You know what I mean? And like this wouldn't make sense to nobody. So I feel like it's a thin line when people be expressing how they feel. That's how receptive people are. Because if people feel like you really pegging me as something crazy right now, I ain't do nothing like that crazy. If they don't feel that way, they're not gonna respond that well. Because I know I was one of them people for a long time. It took me a long time just to be like, man, forget how you feel about what they saying. Like, try to hear the feelings behind what they saying. But
Talk to me, but not at me.
I don't know. Some
Talk
people
to
be
me,
dragging.
but not at
I
me.
ain't gonna lie. And if you drag, you can't be mad at people being unresponsive. Because ain't nobody gonna be made out to be a super villain just because you feel a type of way. Like, I'm just a villain in
Right.
your story right now. I'm not even a villain. Like everybody else cool with me.
Let's not recruit everyone else to make me out to be a villain
Right.
because you have. Because
Right.
people tend to do that too. You're upset at me, so now you got everybody upset at me over something you're upset about. Instead of coming to me like, "Look, hey, can we fix this issue, or can we not fix this issue and move on from it?"
That is one thing I
Don't
hate.
recruit
You know
people
why?
to hate me. Don't.
That's one thing I hate. Say me and you have an argument. Now you going to call your mom, you calling your sister, you doing like, why is you doing all that? Because me and you gonna be together tomorrow. Now you just now
Now, what?
and,
Here's
they
the kicker.
still
Here's
gonna
the
be mad
kicker.
at me.
Here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. After they do that, they want to take you around them, like nothing ever
Yeah,
happened. Like you ain't just
like
dogged me to your
Oh, now
family.
they
You want me to
all
go to the
hate
function?
you, and
why would you get people to start not liking me and then try to bring me around them?
Dog, why is there always a family
Now
function
we all
after the
gotta be
argument?
fake.
There always a function after the
Because y'all
argument. I
first
promise.
for one, your presentation was presented like that. So how can y'all? It's not what they presented; it's what your presentation was. So y'all can't be mad if that's what if that was your first what's the name? Y'all can't be mad at that. That's how y'all
Listen,
presented
I
yourselves.
feel like females do it more than I don't do it. I don't talk about my relationship to another dude or another woman, nothing. I don't tell people my business. But a lot of women
right,
do that. And it's bad to have people because now you're not just dating that girl, you dating her mom. You got to deal with everybody's attitude. You should just be dealing with
Mama,
her
sister,
attitude, not
brother,
her family.
everybody she venting to.
Because it
right.
complicates
Facts.
Now they
it
look at you
complicates
different.
things. Because now when she want to forgive you, now she got people in her ear like
Right.
da 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 da
Now
da
your
da
mama
da da
ain't
da da.
forgive me, your sister ain't forgive me, your brother ain't forgive me. They all looking at me funny because of something you said that you should have discussed
Exactly.
with me, and we should have
Right.
either settled it or moved on from each other. Because
Exactly.
then at that point, when you decide to forgive me, you didn't let everyone else forgive. You've done painted a picture for them
Yep.
instead of keeping that to yourself. And that's something I even learned in my marriage. Like even though I might have forgave him 100 times, my family hated him from the first moment he did something.
I'm
You know what I'm
telling
saying?
you.
Because they knew like you're not gonna hurt my sister because people are protective over you.
My
I
family
feel
think
like you
you a
just really
Right,
gotta
queen.
kind
Your
of be able to
family think I'm a
communicate.
demon. like that's wild.
right, right. Oh,
Right.
I gotta
That's
act all
wild.
fake in front of the
Yeah.
family. We
I
at
ain't
the
told none of
breakfast.
my
We had
sisters what
breakfast or
happened.
at dinner. We gotta be all fake. But the
Right.
other day, you called me a sorry summer, you know what? But I gotta ask that same person that you told that to, can you pass the gravy? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah,
Right.
nah, nah. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
he
I
might
don't like
he
it.
might put his germs
Go
in
ahead.
that gravy before he passes.
If you're
That's
just pulling up, we're getting a little heated in here with this question. That's okay. You can pull up every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to go ahead and do a little switch out for a second. But with the question we were just talking about, are you a good communicator? We've discussed a few other things, but I want to know, after talking about how you're dealing with issues when they arise, but what are something that is hard for you to talk about? What is something that might be hard for you to discuss? Because communication's cool and all, but there's times when even I have trouble,
Can I
as
go first
great as
on
a
this one?
communicator as I am, that I
Can I,
have a hard time communicating.
can I go first?
Sure, go ahead.
I have a
good.
hard time communicating if I cheated and you caught me?
Sorry.
Well, then they did have to work for you. It's not like you had to tell them.
Nah, but once you start asking me like questions, I just.
Oh yeah, I feel you.
You feel me? Like I start shutting down. Like, you feel me? Like, why you asking me questions? You already.
Because the after questions be so dumb.
Yeah, shit you already know. You just want to hear it so you can feel bad about it. Like, it's just gonna make you feel worse. Why do you want to hear it? Why do you want to hear it?
They want it.
It's gonna make you feel so much worse.
Man, that's
like,
the same
why
thing I
do
used
that?
to have when I used to get in trouble as a kid. I'd be like, why are you asking me the ins and outs of the thing? I know I'm gonna get a whooping, man. Like, just do it already. Why are we talking about the ins and outs of it? But nah, I feel you cheating. For me, what's hard for me to communicate sometimes is like, all right, it's gonna sound crazy, but y'all bear with me. It's hard for me to communicate that I don't care sometimes. Cause really, like, there's a lot of things that I don't be caring about. But it's not like I don't care I'm just saying, like, for me, I'll be like, that isn't drama to me. Like, that situation would never enter my life. I mean, I see, like, for me, that's not even that'd be like a 2-sentence wrap up conversation. They do this, I'd say that, cool. Like, so for me, you having so much in that situation and then being like, how do you not feel nothing? I'd be like, dang, how do I tell you I don't care? But like, I care because you telling me. I'm caring to listen to hear, but like at the same time, my reaction, I can't be fake with my reaction. If I don't care, I really don't care. I'm either gonna listen attentively and not care, or tell you I don't care from the beginning, so I don't gotta listen attentively. But it'd be hard for me to communicate that sometimes. Because there's just certain things I just be like, in the grand schemes of things, that's pretty simple. Or in the grand scheme of things, that's pretty pointless. But you know, I don't be trying to portray that to other people. So it'd be hard for me to communicate during the times that I don't care.
Right. Well, what's hard for me to communicate? Y'all might laugh at me. Like, if your cooking sucks, like, it's hard for me to tell you that, babe, these pancakes is trash.
You don't say that. You
Eggs
just
is too
gotta tell them
watery
what
and
they gotta
runny.
do to it. You don't say this trash. You just gotta tell them now.
But
You
it's
gotta.
hard for me to. But that's telling them though. If you say, hey, these grits is hitting,
It's not
but
actually
you
telling
need some
them.
salt.
You just
saying that
helping
to
them
your.
out. You gotta. You feel me? You just gotta
Now
help
you
them
tell
out.
your girl make you some eggs. Your girl make you some eggs. They runny. You gonna say, yeah, these
You
are
gotta
good, but
tell
they a
them.
little
Oh,
runny.
you say
Is
it's,
she
yo,
not gonna
babe,
get
you gotta
offended?
cook this a little more. You gotta put it on for 30 more seconds.
Or how
Now you
about
got a whole argument.
you cook with her? Show her like, look, babe, I love you.
This how I
Okay,
like
like-
my eggs.
Cook with her. Make it a team effort. Like, let's cook something together, and then you can kind of teach her, or like, you know what, I'm gonna cook for you next time, baby, and then show her how you like it.
Right.
Put her on garlic
Sure.
bread duty. You feel me? All the stuff you just
Garlic bread.
You just do the bread. You do
Hey,
the
babe,
bread.
put this in the oven.
Anything that go in the
Put
oven
this
is
in the
all
oven,
you.
baby.
Yeah, the oven is all you.
You feel me? I
Oven
feel
is
like
all
that's the
you.
slickest way to do it. Just if she notices that everything she gets to cook is like easy 1-2 steps, she's gonna be like, "Hey, yo, you don't think I could cook?" I'll be like, "Yo, you said it. Hey, I ain't say it." You know, now that we on the subject.
My last thing that's hard for me to communicate, like if somebody's, like if I know you doing dirt, it's hard for me to communicate with you without lashing out. Like it's hard for me to express that in a non-violent, aggressive way, like threatening way. Like I can't just sit down like, yo, I know you talking to James. Nah, it's not coming out. Like it's definitely not coming out. I can't say how it's coming out, but it's definitely not coming out.
Talking about cereal, like, oh, what was that, Jessica? What does Jessica think about cereal today for breakfast? Oh,
you like the subliminal punchlines.
It's gonna come out in the wrong
subliminal
time.
punchlines.
I say, I know
Like,
too
oh,
many women that
well,
are
I
good
heard
at doing
Jessica
it
likes
like it's
cereal.
regular conversation. Just talking to you regular. You could be talking about the game, and they'll be like,
That
"Yeah,
blows
so
my
who's
mind.
Jessica?" And I'd be like, "Yo, how? how you just sat over
Right,
there
like
and set that
How
up
did
like
you even know
that?"
it?
Right? How
They
you
be
expect me to
holding it
answer
we
in.
just
that?
talking
Yo, they
about the
be holding it
mortgage.
in. They be holding it in and trying to set it up for the conversation. Like, you feel me? Like, and put it in at the right time. Like, you, so it can surprise you. Like, wait a minute.
Brother, I once
That's
on
kind of me, but it's because I've already mentioned something, or See, and I hate this is one thing about being really smart and like really in tune, is that one thing about being really smart and really in tune is like you notice things that other people don't know or they don't think you know. But I need you to know that I'm very intelligent first before we even start dating. Okay, don't ever underestimate my intelligence, because if you play me like I'm dumb, you're already losing, baby, because I'm already 10 steps ahead of you. I've dated king narcissist, king cheater. You are coming after the king of all kings of just this disgust. Okay, so don't try to play me. Okay, so definitely make sure your stuff straight before you step to a woman like me, because I'm gonna throw it in there at some point somewhere. If I've already discussed something with you, how I feel about things before I'm gonna tell you, don't do this. This is the thing. Talk about the hard stuff. Talk about the hard stuff. Even when it is hard, you have to like pull that out of yourself, because if you don't, the things that you let slide now are gonna be the things that ruin it later.
Go back in there.
You definitely have to pull that part of you out that is afraid to be hurt, or afraid to be that is afraid. You have to pull that out of you from somewhere and discuss the things that are hard to discuss, because if I'm going to be with you and communicate with you properly, I have to at some point feel the pain of and the nervousness of telling you something that is hard to talk about, because at the end of the day, you're my person, right? So when times are tough or whatever, I need to know that you're the person that can stand up with me. So when things are hard, I gotta be able to come to you and be like, look, I'm not attacking you, but this is what I've seen. This is how I felt about it. And don't make it like you're attacking them. Make it me terms. Like, I feel like this when this happens. Don't ever be like, well, you did this and you did that, because then you're attacking and they're already going to be on the defense. Make like, I feel when this happens, or I feel. So make it so it's something that's coming from you. It's not you attacking them. I think that kind of takes like the a little bit of the scariness out of communication. Are you ready?
The only thing I'd be scared of with doing that, Jen, sometimes is not to cut you off, but
Go ahead.
I'd be scared the person's not smart enough to know that I'm talking about them. Have you ever had told somebody something and you talking about them and they agree with you? Like, yo, I hate when people do that. You like,
And like, yo,
nah,
I'm
really
talking about
saying
you.
but like, I'm just trying to present it in a way that you're not gonna be defensive. So I'm trying to be general, but I definitely agree with you. You definitely kind of got to play with people's like defensive mind, because the second people start getting defensive is the second people stop listening. And if you can't communicate somebody without being offensive, it's gonna be hard to make it like good communication all the time. But yeah, I don't know. Another thing I just thought that I have problems bringing up some like to people is I can't tell a girl that they do something that I don't like if I've never done something that they don't like. I can't be the first one to tell a girl that they do something I don't like, because I don't feel like women take it well. Like, and
That double
correct me if
standard.
I'm wrong.
Girl, he trying to
I
control me, girl.
I
Girl.
don't. I'm not gonna lie. I don't feel like women take it well unless like you be an imperfect person. Like if I meet a girl on first, she see this, I'll be like, dang, I ain't finna just say nothing. Like all Fred would be like, yo, I don't like when you do that. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to tell them that.
Yeah, because that's girl. Women are the first ones to think that the men is trying to control just for what we say. Like sometimes that is what it is. Men do try to control, but sometimes the nigga just letting you know, yo, I don't like that.
Right.
And that goes back to the adapting part of the show that we was talking about.
Definitely.
Facts.
I get it.
Want to chime in, RDS? What is hard for you to communicate in a relationship? What is hard for you to communicate?
Mute me. I gotta
What's
pee.
hard for me to communicate?
Oh. He's gotta pee, guys.
For me, it would be hard for me to communicate something that might maybe like hurt your feelings. Like, for example, like if I feel like them shoes you wear or like something that I don't like, I don't know, it might be hard for me to communicate that because I might come off like I'm being materialistic or something. I don't know. It ain't hard for me to communicate my feelings at all. So that's the only thing I can really think of.
All right. Well, if you are just pulling up, we got one of us taking a bathroom break, but every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can find us here in the Red Room at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've talked about communication. We've talked about loving yourself first. We've talked about things that are hard to communicate. But kind of what goes hand in hand with communication is trust. Is it hard for you to trust someone, especially after your last relationship? You know, jealousy can arise in relationships due to past relationships or insecurity. Have you dealt with this, and how did you go about it?
Let me go first. I'm gonna say for me, it's kind of hard to say. I can't say that it's hard for me to trust, but my trust is a little bit more like it's like a thin line. Like if you're not moving in a way where I don't have to like wonder like what's that, like that don't seem right to me, then I can honestly trust you. But for me it seems like everybody has certain things that they do to where you have to question it. So I mean, I would say for me, trust is a little bit hard because like even after seeing like my daddy, for example, him and my mom was together for a long time, and to me, in my eyes, he was the perfect man. I always said if my daddy and my mama can't work it out, then I don't have hope for nobody. But I can't sit there and say that about every man. So I don't know, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for me to really trust.
Definitely. You become more guarded, you know. What do you so if you're just pulling back up, Pity, hopefully you washed your hands. But is it hard for you to trust and jealousy in relationships can arise? How do you deal with that? How do you go about dealing with jealousy in relationships in into a new relationship from past relationships? What do you think, Ja?
I ain't gonna lie. I got zero trust issues. I'm a blind truster. Like I don't, you know what I mean? It's innocent until proven guilty around here. I don't know. I just don't be having the time to feel like people trying to, you know what I mean, have it out for me. But like people got negative intentions towards me. If you show you have negative intentions towards me, then I'll move accordingly. But until then, I'm gonna act like you got, you know what I mean, positive. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's both a good or bad mixed bag of dealing with things with that. But as far as being jealous, how do I handle jealousy? That I don't know. I feel like I don't know how it is for other guys, but I feel like as a guy, there's this like a level of jealousy. Jealousy in a guy is like directly linked to insecurity, I feel. So I don't be trying to be too jealous because I feel like if you confident in yourself and what you bring to the table, and you confident that your queen chose you because of who you is and what you bring to the table, then who am I jealous of? Yeah, I mean, she could have picked you. Like we all know how for every one girl, there's like thousands in her DMs. You feel me? I'm the one she out here walking in public with, so I'm not jealous of nobody. I'm not gonna act like I'm not gonna put myself in the headspace to think like, oh yeah, this might got something up on me or this. Like she looking at him like, nah, I'm cool. Until I see it, there's nothing. If I don't see it, I'm walking smooth. So
Can I go?
Yeah.
All right, so me, so I'm always keeping 1,000. Me, I've been in a lot of relationships. My first few relationships guided my next few relationships down bad paths. You feel me? Because being that those relationships were bad and they were doing wrong, I felt like I started getting the mindset that everybody was doing wrong. You feel me? But still getting into relationships. I was contradicting myself. You feel me? And some of us do that. And once we have a certain mindset, I think that we shouldn't be in relationships until you get out of that mindset. But that some of us still do that shit. So I still got into a relationship with that mindset, thinking that everybody everybody doing bad, and it went bad in those relationships. But now that I got older, I learned not to do that. I learned it has to be some type of trust, even if it's just a little bit. Like I said, you give them just a little. You lead them to the water so they can drown themselves. So if they drown it, you feel what I'm saying? Like you don't act. I learned not to act till you see it. You feel me? So I'm a trust you until you don't till you give me a reason not to trust you. You feel me? That's how I look at that. And what was the other thing? What was the other topic you was speaking on?
How you handle jealousy?
Jealousy. I feel all right. So I feel what you're saying on that, but I feel like jealousy is cute. Jealousy is a little cute. If you love that person, not for real. If you love that person, and you feel me, and say my girl is with her girlfriend a little more than she with me. Like we don't live together. You feel me? But I'm trying to spend that time, but she's spending that time with her girlfriend a little more. I'm gonna be jealous. Like you feel me? And that should be all right. And that in your mind, you should be like, damn, this nigga really want to spend time with me. Like you feel me? Like instead of thinking of it like that, a lot of people don't look at it like that. Yo, he on my back. He always trying to like. Like, but you don't listen. It's like I said, it's cute, but you shouldn't give person. Yeah, if you with somebody, you shouldn't give person room to be jealous of nothing. Don't you feel me? You should. I shouldn't be jealous of nothing, because I'm not gonna make you jealous of nothing, and that's how it should be.
Right. With me, the trust it changed. Like I'm kind of with Pitt. Like in the beginning, I went through so much BS that I didn't trust nobody. Like if I couldn't see you, you was doing something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I took that from relationships to relationship to relationship. And when I got to that 30-30, it was like, all right, maybe it's me.
Yeah, it is. It starts to be
because right. It really was. At the end of the day, it was me. It was me. I was that controlling guy. That where you at? Where you been? Who you with? What you wearing?
Yep.
Call you while you
Leo
with
shit.
type guy.
Leo shit. Leo stuff.
Yeah, right. Leo stuff on my Leo stuff. But as I got older, I learned at the end of the day, that person gonna do what they want to do. You accusing them of doing something, it ain't doing nothing but making them do it anyway. Like if you're constantly accusing somebody of cheating and they go cheat on you, well, guess what? You was the cheerleader. Like you pushed her to that or him to that. Trust with me, you got my trust until you lose it. Like
I started doing that. I started pushing women into cheating on me.
Right. And jealousy, I don't have that. I don't have that. To me, if I go out with my girl somewhere and I see a guy looking at my girl like he just want to just run up in it and just start doing something.
You proud that he looking at your girl? Like, dang, that's my lady.
Yeah, I'm proud of that. Like, yo, that's good. I like that. I love that. You go out to the club without me with your girls.
But it's a lot of things. Jealousy comes with a lot. Jealousy comes with a lot more than just a guy looking at your girl.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I always.
I'm just saying, I don't get jealous of other people.
That part came.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm confident of who I am, so I don't get jealous. At the end of the day, it's funny to me when I see other people get jealous and stuff. Or like Pitt say, if my girl getting jealous, it's cute. Oh, you care.
Mm-hmm.
You showing me you care.
Right.
Like if you get jealous, like, oh, you got some feelings in you.
Right.
Jealousy.
What was
is
you saying,
like a baby line. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, for me, jealousy, like, for example, like, if I see my dude doing, like, he may have to do this, I don't know, for his job or for anything, where he might give another female more privilege than he giving me, or show her more attention than he showing me, then I'm gonna get jealous. So I mean, I can't say I'm not jealous, because something like that would make me jealous.
Right. Like I said, it's different things. I feel like everybody can get jealous depending on what the situation is. If you love that person can make you jealous.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I always call jealousy the green monster. For me, jealousy, like I am fine with you. I don't care if you have female friends, all that. It's until you do something that makes that jealousy, you plant that seed in my mind, right? You plant my seed that you're doing something that I'm not liking, okay? And I'm gonna tell you, if you do it again, now you're watering that seed, and that seed is gonna grow and root into my mind that something's not right. And that's where the jealousy, which really, as we were just talking about, jealousy is insecurity. It's an insecurity. This comes deep rooted from an insecurity in you from past relationships that all kind of see. We go full circle. Here we go. Full circle, kind of going back to that self-love. Do you have to love yourself before you love someone else? That's why it's important to love yourself, because these insecurities and things can arise in relationships and go and keep you from finding the person you love. Having all these little things like jealousy, insecurity, communication problems, all these things can keep you from the road, or could be your roadblock to love. Make sure that you're healing yourself first, because insecurity, jealousy, those things can keep you from someone who's a healthy person or has a healthy relationship. You're just pulling up. You're a little late. We're almost done. We've talked about self-love, communication, insecurity, jealousy, all those things. But you can find us here every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They often say the biggest distance between two people is misunderstanding. You have to really ask yourself, are you keeping you from finding love? Like I said, we've touched on insecurity and jealousy, but this is the time on the Red Room Talk that we let the co-host ask the host one burning hot seat question. And I have no idea what it is. So go ahead and stay tuned to see what that answer is. I'm a little afraid, but that's all right. We ready?
My bad. That was my evil laugh. That was my evil laugh. I can ask now. I guess.
Yeah, go ahead,
Hold on. Let me call the police real quick.
Oh,
My bad. I have to call the law for this question.
12.
All right, Jay. Book him. All right. Jay, my question for you is, do you feel it's okay? You feel it's okay to stay in a toxic relationship if you got kids with that person for the sake of keeping your family together?
Boo, no.
Well, here's my answer, sir. I'm glad you asked this question because it kind of goes with the theme. No. I'm going to put it as simply as that, because my parents were together for almost 30 years, and they were in a long-distance relationship in the same household, if you get what I'm saying. Them staying together as long as they did, like, okay, so when parents get divorced and the child is young, they kind of grow and adapt to that, right? That they know their parents are together, and they adapt to having two separate households. So for me, having parents that stayed together in a very unhappy relationship for 30 years, and then them splitting up was a shock to my system. Because they hid it so well, they didn't hide it always so well, but they stayed together so long in this toxic relationship. That didn't show me that it was healthy that showed me it was okay to stay with someone you weren't with. So I went on myself, because you know, like we talked about last episode, in the relationships with family and your parents and all those things mold your next relationships, which kind of goes hand in hand with what we're talking about. Definitely. That can mold how you deal with your next relationships. So you don't want to have your kids see you in an unhealthy relationship, because they're going to mimic you later in life, or they're going to think that's okay. I mean, I was in an abusive relationship. I watched my parents, as much as I thought they loved each other, but they stayed together and thought that was okay. So why wouldn't I think that's okay? You know, my parents bickered and yelled. That's why I know, like, now being older, I can never be with someone who yells at me, someone who bickers and yells. I literally, I will not even talk to you. I can't communicate with you. It kind of goes back to the communication thing. Um, I definitely have to be with a great communicator. I have to be with someone. So I want my future children to see what it's like to be in a healthy household with healthy parents, whether these children are from me or this is their children and I'm a step parent. I need all of us, including the mother or however the family looks. I need everybody to kind of be in line with making sure that these children are seeing healthy households, whether it's your your child's mother and her relationship and me and your relationship, or our children together, or however our household looks, because we know these days households don't always look like a mom and a dad and a happy family all the time. You might have a stepmom, a stepdaddy, or two mommies, two daddies, however that looks. I need for the children to see something healthy, so when they grow and they go on to their next relationships or on to their grown relationships, that they've seen what that looks like. That's why so many relationships fail, because they've not seen what a healthy relationship even is.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't think that it's okay to stay in something toxic. I have done that before. I've been there before. But now being grown, I'm 35 years old. The most toxic thing I need you to do is walk by me in gray sweatpants, okay? That's it. That's the amount of toxicity I can deal with at this age, okay? My heart. That's the most I can deal with as far as
Right.
toxic. I need you to be in line with communication. I need you to be in line with the trusting. You have to kind of grow at some point. And definitely, if you already have children, or we have children together, or we're going to make children together, you need to make sure that you are a healthy you. Going back to the first question, make sure you are a healthy you and you love you before you love that person.
Like that answer.
So what do y'all think about that? We'll go ahead and let you guys have a rebuttal, and then we will wrap it up with our quote of the
Right.
show.
As a person that has two baby mothers, right? And I'm not with either one of them. So that answers my question right there. You feel me? I'm not with staying with a person just because we got kids together. If it ain't working, and at first, you try to work it out, but that's when it shows you, because that's when you trying to work that thing out and it's toxic. That's when it really shows. When y'all trying y'all hardest, and it comes out, the toxicity spews out even more. And that's when you really gotta, it really shows. I mean, sometimes it works out. Some people it works out. Like I said, it depends on how much y'all love each other, and depending on if y'all be willing to go through all those stages and stuff we were just talking about, the adapting, the communication,
Communication.
the everything we were just talking about. You would have to go through all those steps and work that out for it to really work out. And most people, it's already been too much that they went through already for them to go back and fix all of it. So it's depending on what y'all been through with each other and how toxic the situation is. You feel what I'm saying? And it also depends on how old that child is sometimes. Because you really want to, if it's a baby and they don't know what's going on, you feel me? It's like, damn, like we don't really, you feel me? You don't even know what's going on right now. We could do this now while before it really hurt them, and so they could see what's going on. Like they could be growing up into this, and they could be understanding, instead of it being an older child like 12, 13, where they know what's going on. They see it. So you might want to work around it. You might want to do it differently with an older child. You feel what I'm saying? You might want to work it out just a little more. It might just give you that push. You feel me? But that's how I look at it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Pitt, even though his answer was long as heck. But
I'm
he
sorry.
he summed it up. No, for real. Like, okay, because like I was with my child daddy for 10 years, and we broke up, and I don't like it was nothing else there. So what's the point? Like we tried to work it out for her. We couldn't do it. I mean, at the end of the day, like the kids' happiness does matter, but the mother's happiness and the fathers, the parents' happiness matter just as much. So you can't only be in it for the kids, because the kids shouldn't have to see an unhappy mother and father. It won't. They'll end up being toxic when they grow up. So
Yep.
Right, because that's exactly what they see is
Mhm.
toxic. So they're gonna grow up thinking that's okay. That's how it's supposed
Because
to be.
mommy and daddy did it.
yeah.
Right.
That's how it's so easy to fall into toxic relationships. If you've seen that your whole life, you're like, well, my mom did this, my dad was this, you know.
Right.
No, I think everybody hit it on the head for real. I ain't got nothing to add. It's a no go for sure. It's short
Well,
sighted.
we've talked about
I'll
it
say that.
all. We went from self, we went to communication, jealousy, insecurity, all those things that can be roadblocks in a relationship, and help and you finding love. If you're just pulling up, I'm sorry you missed the show, but that's okay, because every Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can pull up to the Red Room Talk. And we have special guests every week. Tonight's topic was roadblocks between you and love. Are you keeping you from love? Now is the time where I'm going to give you a little quote and end the show on a note. So the quote is, finding love is a two-part process. The first part is to find the right person, and the second part is to be the right person. Mavis Lino. It's been a great talk. Thank you guys all for coming. You've all had some great answers.
I enjoyed it.
Definitely was a good
Thank you. I
show.
hope I was a good contestant in your show.
I'm glad I finally got you guys all out here together. I appreciate you all for coming.
Wait, can I say something? Y'all congratulate me. I've been going 2 days with wearing a shirt. I've been wearing a shirt 2 days straight.
Facts.
2
Facts.
days.
Facts. Facts.
Everybody, round of applause for Pitt. Round of applause.
Oh, you know.
Thank you.
It's over.
Untitled Sounds Production. What up, sound?